actually defend yourself.
Oh, and down he goes! Right hand, left hand!
I was very pleased with my role in the fight in many different ways. You guys didn't see me except twice in the whole fight. Nobody spoke about me except twice in the fight, the 9th round knockdown and the 12th round knockdown. So I did my job and stayed away. And obviously what happened in that 12th round, that he got up and responded the way he did, demonstrates that the decision I made was correct. So I'm really happy. I think it was the best decision I've ever made in a boxing match to this date, for myself anyway. It's a multitude of reasons on why I didn't think it was over at that time. I want to just let everybody know I was a fireman for 31 years with the Los Angeles Fire Department. I was an EMT, emergency medical technician, and I was a captain on a paramedic engine for 20 years. So we went to trauma all the times. Car accidents, shootings, stabbings, beatings. I'm very familiar with trauma, plus being a referee for 21 years. I'm comfortable with trauma, and what I'm really comfortable with is reading body language. So when he went down, that was a devastating shot. He got hit with 2 beautiful shots and fell flat on his back. When I asked Wilder to go to the corner and I picked up the count, when I turned back around, one of the things I instinctually noticed was that Tyson's right foot was up. And it wasn't caught under his left foot, it was up. He was holding it up on his own, which told me he's probably not out if he's holding his foot up. And I was always taught also, count a champion out. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, people want to see a definitive ending, count them out. So I scooted in to see what I got, and as I was coming in, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick this up on camera, but Tyson was laying flat on his back, and as I came in, he went like this. So he acknowledged he was awake. He looked at me when I was coming towards him. So then I got in, went over him, so because it was loud, and I got right over him, and I was giving him counting out the numbers, and I was giving him the numbers with my hands at the same time so he wouldn't be confused. 2 things happened. When I got to about 5, her eyes weren't totally open, but when I got to 5, he popped his eyes wide open. So I thought he's back. And then when I started counting, I was thinking, I don't know if he's going to beat the count, but we'll see. Stuff like that was going through my head. I just kept counting, and he was up by 9. Right at 9, he was up. I said, "Are you okay?" He looked at me and he said, "Yes." I said, "Do you want to continue?" He looked at me and he said, "Yes." And because of it was a 12th round of a heavyweight fight. These guys were strong men and big men, and the devastating knockdown, I said, walk to the right 3 steps and come back to me. And he was in full control of his body. He actually did a little bit of a bounce step and came back to me. And then I just held him, turned to make sure that Wilder was still in his corner and said, "Fight." In the old days, we used to make them walk forward to see how their gait is and if they have full control of their body. But the ringside physicians taught us that any drunk could stagger 2-3 steps forward. You got to make them, to see if they have control of their body, you got to make them walk to the right or left, because it's very hard for them to navigate turning. And that's what we do.
So what's up? How you guys been? Beginning of the week here, 7:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, July the 5th, 2021, T-Street Controversy with FightView360.com. We're going to try to cover a lot in this hour. First, we must start with the reported pay-per-view buys of Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios for the WBA 140-pound world title. It's a bullshit title. Nonetheless, I do feel that Tank Davis is a pound-for-pound champion, even though the only legitimate title he holds, in my opinion, and in many boxing fans' opinion, and in many boxing media members' opinion, who just are sick and tired of the WBA's bullshit, many feel that the only real belt, significant belt, it's not Tank Davis's fault, we're not blaming him, that Tank Davis has is that WBA Super Championship at 130 pounds, which he may never defend again. In my opinion, Showtime spilled the beans this past weekend in the fight we're going to talk about during the Chris Colbert versus Tszyu Nyembayar fight, 130-pound WBA interim defense for Colbert, that PBC is trying to make Colbert versus Xavier Martinez for that WBA super title. So basically, Tank is just holding on to it, the one that he won from Leo Santa Cruz, holding on to it until, as I predicted, a PBC fighter gets in line for it. And now it's looking like we're going to have Xavier Martinez versus Colbert for that WBA Super World title, 130 pounds. But about those pay-per-view numbers here, let me go and pull them up for you right now. Conflicting reports, some saying 200,000 pay-per-view buys at $74.99. Some are saying 225,000. Either way, small little difference. What do you think? Is that a success to you? And do you believe in the numbers? In my personal opinion, I think that's a success. In the streaming area, in the streaming era, if they're able to get 200,000 pay-per-view buys, to me, in my personal opinion, I'm thinking like, all right, hold on, I'm doing some real-time editing right here. So if they're able to do that, during this era, I'm like, okay, more power to you. Here, that's just a little too intrusive. Let me move this chat down. Let's do it like that. There we go. There we go. So, and also, I'm trying to get my lighting and everything together. We're going in full 1080p. So I'm hoping everything's running smooth for you guys. I'm actually supposed to be wearing a headset so the sound can be a lot better. But, we're getting things in, the new decade. So we're going to be working our way up to 4K. Can you believe that? T Street in 4K? Wow. But anyway. Moving on, let me pull up this tweet for you from Mike Colbert from now ESPN, no longer with The Athletic. I like Lance Pugmire. Currently, I'm paying $1 a month for The Athletic. Fuck it, they can keep still getting their dollar. But he's now over on ESPN, covering boxing and MMA, surprisingly. Ariel Helwani has left, according to reports, money dispute. ESPN is cutting back. The Rachel Nichols thing is a bit of a mess. To me, I'm like, all right, yeah, she was hating. But at the same time, it's like, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of, us black people being pandered to. Oh, let's give you guys now a black superhero. Let's give you this. Let's get, bro, what is going on with this chat? Hold on. I'm going to have to change the chat back to what it was before because Keep Punching Entertainment. I don't know what's going on with you guys long as names, but I don't know what the hell's going on with this, but we're going to have it be cut off. So I guess what I'm saying is that those pay-per-view buys, it depends on, what you, the fan, consider a success. For you to feel happy with what you're telling yourself, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. I get, the only people that will know if that pay-per-view is a success or not are the ones who put the money into it, like Showtime, PBC, Al Heyman. They're the only ones who really going to be like, wow, we really, really did good. For a guy like Tank Davis to be pulling that many pay-per-view buys, that's a success to me, but it all depends on how much he's making and how much they're recouping back from the pay-per-views. We don't know how much this shit is costing. Did we get any purses? How much are the fighters making? Now, we don't know what Showtime's deal is with PBC and Al Heyman in the pay-per-views, but normally, I believe the cable provider takes about half, 40, 50%, whatever, and the broadcaster, what do they get? Factor in, you can also now stream these fights. So it's like this, you can stream on the Showtime platforms. I'm not a fan of streaming on the Showtime platform because, for one, you can't DVR. So say, for example, you pay for the pay-per-view, right? Let's say, for example, I did it once with the Charlo doubleheader. I don't remember what was going on, but I said, you know what? Let me buy this shit through the Showtime platform. And I don't like putting stuff on my card. You can't just charge it through your cable when you buy it through the online digital. So what I did was I purchased it. And you can't rewind. It's not DVR. Also, not only can't you rewind, you can't watch it in replay. So you can't say, "Oh, I paid for the pay-per-view last night. I fell asleep. Let me watch it in the morning." Showtime Anytime or the Showtime online, purchase it online, you can't watch it in on demand. So I'd rather watch it through cable, and I can at least DVR it and watch it later on. But, you know, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not really sure. See, people are going to say, wow, that's all he did. I thought he was a pay-per-view star. But 200 is pretty good these days, you know, for a fighter like Tank Davis. Now, a guy like Canelo needs to be doing at least 500,000. But pay-per-view is not guaranteed. These fighters, let me tell you what fighters, and this is what I've heard from sources, you know, that fighters are told, like, listen, we're going to give you this flat money. Just throwing out a number, $1 million, 1.5, and then you're a pay-per-view star. Let me tell you something. You're going to be on pay-per-view and you're going to get back-end money. But back-end money usually kicks in after a certain amount of pay-per-view buys are sold. Mayweather told us that outright. What was that? When he fought Canelo? Who did he fight after Canelo? Was it Maidana? Basically, Mayweather's contract was somewhere along the lines, we don't know, but he used to talk about a lot that if he got more than 1 million buys, he got more than the 32 or whatever that was guaranteed, 32 million or so. But if he didn't reach 1 million or so buys, he didn't get no back end money. So what level do these fighters have to reach before they get back end money? You kind of see what I'm saying? Kind of. Like how many pay-per-view buys do they have to reach before they're able to make more off of their flat fee? You know, because that's an easy cop-out for the promoters and the managers to say, okay, we're going to put you on pay-per-view, but, you know, you're on pay-per-view now. Here, we're going to give you this flat money. Now go sell yourself. And hope that you bring in them extra pay-per-view buys. I mean, yeah, they'll give you the shoulder content, build-up content, like, you know, all of that. But if you really, really want to ask me, I think it's a good number. You know, in this generation, that's a good number in my opinion. With all this streaming and all this stuff going on. Let me do something real quick. I don't like this chat. So while we're here live real time, I'm going to change it back to what it was before. What the, you know, because it shows more. My bad. I don't mean to, you know, be changing shit around on y'all. We're going to go back to the way it was before. So you're going to see me throughout the course of this stream changing some stuff around. Don't mind me. That is true. People didn't really start talking. Okay, let me fix this. People wasn't really talking pay-per-view buys until Mayweather came along and like really, well, you don't sell, I sell more than you. But it's always been something that boxing fans in general discussed. Like, you know, I always wanted to know what pay-per-view buys are. But I'm a numbers guy. It's kind of like, you know, when you're, for boxing fans, it's similar to, you know, you checking the box score of an NBA game or, you know, the stats of an NFL. You want to know, like, what a boxer's marketability is because in boxing, you know, you in boxing, it's prize fighting. You have to talk about the money because fighters talk about the money because there's a difference. You know, it factors into the politics. Because, say, for example, I didn't want to talk about it in this video, but think about the rumored Canelo versus Caleb Plant situation going on. Caleb Plant is being rumored to want like 10 million. Canelo like, nah. So therefore, Canelo can say, look, you never made this 10 million before. You never made this. So why are you asking for this? You see what I'm saying? So in boxing, you know, it does matter. So I'm going to go ahead, you know, and say that I think that's a good number. But once again, we don't know what the base pays are for the fighters. Like, were the purses for Tank Davis and Mario Barrios released? I think somebody put it in the chat, but I had to reset the chat. So I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I mean, put it this way. Do I have doubts that it did 200,000 pay-per-view buys? I can't say that I do. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but it is a lot for people paying $75. Here, let me fix this. Okay, we got to do a little bit more maintenance on the chat. There we go. But generally, you know, see, we'll never know what the fighters are making. We'll never know, you know. So, like, talking about this, I don't get any joy about it. But if this fight, I put it this way, if I would have heard that this fight did 300,000 pay-per-view buys, I would have been like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like, okay, all right, that's a nice number. But I'm not feeling like I should doubt it. I'm like, okay, all right, I can believe it. 1.5 and 1.5, who made one? I would guess that would be, that sounds about right when it comes to purses. About 1 million, 1.5. And then, you know, plus bonus and back end money. But these days, man, I got to be honest with you. You know, and it's taboo to talk about, but streaming these fights is super easy, man. And it's convenient, because what if you don't want to go out with your friends and have like a, you know, a little party or something? Then people are streaming these things to smithereens, man. These fights are getting streamed to smithereens, bro. And people just openly, just blatantly like, I'm going to stream that shit. Fuck them. Like, damn. And the matchups don't really do enough to bring in enough casuals to upset the streaming. You know, to upset that streaming. For example, Tank Davis matching with a Mexican. That's all. Let's not say it's not Tank Davis. That's always been that way. But in this generation, we're seeing it more and more, especially on the PBC side. Listen, you know, get our black up and coming fighter matching with the Mexicans, you know, and the Hispanics, and we get the ticket sales and everything from them to fill out the arena. And now these streams are in high definition, man. Them motherfuckers, let me tell you something. Because let me tell you what I do. And, you know, it's a little, this taboo to talk about. But if, like, the best way I can say it is, here, I'm going to show you my motherfucking cable box. It's right here on the desk. This is my cable box, and you'll see it. This is my Verizon Fios wireless cable box. So what I do is I have it tapped into my PC, and I use a capture card. But if I'm like somewhere else around the house, you know, I got like a couple of TVs that's just like one, you know, just has like Amazon or whatever. I'll use my Chromecast, man, and like I'll cast a stream somewhere. Listen, it's so easy. And these days, especially when I'm trying to watch international fights, some international fights, like some Tszyu fights I've had to cover in the past, we can't buy them because of geo blocks and all kind of shit like that. So it's like, I'm not going to not watch the fight. I got a job to do. So you want me to say it? If it's fights that I can't legally buy, you damn right I'm streaming that motherfucker. You put me in a bad spot. I got to cover the fights. I got to do it for the people. But I'm not going to be covering no sport and not buying the fights. Like, that's some bullshit. Especially if I got the money. But some of you are just like low down though. So, you know, y'all, I know y'all ain't going to be buying no fights. And not to mention, or to mention, Mario Barrios is not exactly a name that's going to get people buying the fight. For people that purchase Tank versus Barrios, majority of them purchased off a Tank name. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know? Yes, the Tszyu fight is still on ESPN Plus, and at 10 p.m., we're going to be doing a stream of the weigh-in. So basically, in 2 hours or so, we're going to be doing another stream of the Tszyu versus Steve Spark weigh-in, and then me and Big J are going to do a little recap on our final predictions. But y'all think it's an inflated number, you know, but what I can't see, I think Tank can pull, if you don't believe in the 210 or 225 pay-per-view buys, 200,000, you think that Tank, what? You think that he pulled less, you think he pulled 100,000? I don't know, man. I think that Tank can pull more than 100,000. I'm talking about 100,000 people that don't know how to stream. Let's say it's the old head boxing fans. It's not 100,000 of them, 150. I don't know, man. But for the single man, for the people who are like good with technology and stuff, you don't even have to be good with it these days. If you were to crib, people know how to stream this shit. Yeah, my soft spot came from a tape, no bullshit, a VHS tape. I forgot who it was. My memory is shit. It was some old mashup of Chris Eubanks Sr. fight. And it was like a Mundine fight. I don't know where that tape came from. It was like a VHS tape. Like it was a thrift store called Home Depot. What was it called? St. Vincent's thrift store. And my grandpa used to buy like tapes. They used to sell like this random ass box of tapes. So he would buy them, be going through them, and it was some fights on there. And also he was on Fight Night. But yeah, man, I think this is a good number though. I believe in the number. So moving on, what do you think about Chris Colbert? I watched the fight twice. Let me tell you what happened. I was watching the fight, and I was watching on the Showtime Anytime app. Oh, my bad, wrong. I was watching on the Showtime Anytime, not app, Showtime Anytime on my desktop. And as I'm doing my post-fight video, my computer froze. So I'm doing a lot of changes. You know, I'm going to be working with the WBC channel. In fact, I got to send videos over there. I'm late. And I'm doing a lot of technical upgrades to getting lighting right. I got like some new lighting coming in the next couple of weeks. Got a new chair, going to get a new background, going to start wearing a headset, you know, getting some hats, some WBC gear and everything. So I was doing my post-fight video and then it died. Then yesterday was Sunday, right? Sunday, I was watching a replay on Showtime Extreme and I had to do some shit for the kids. So I watched it fight. Twice. The issue I'm having with him is great jab, but he don't got no power. So, you know, that can be an issue going forward in the future. And when you think about the 130-pound division as a whole, it's kind of up in the air. Okay, you have Valdez taking on whoever that guy, Robson Concio, I believe his name is. Here, let's go look at the rankings. Let's go look at the rankings. I'm going to break it down for you real quick. All right. So you got Valdez coming back. I believe it's in September. Anybody remember the date or the month? Valdez is going to be taking on this man, Robinson Conceicao. Robson Conceicao. Okay. Okay. You have Herring, and he's not listed here, but we're going to get him up here. WBO interim champion. He does have the interim, right? Shakur Stevenson. They're going to be fighting in the fall. Okay. And then you have Chris Colbert and Xavier Martinez that they're trying to make for this WBA super title. Because Tank Davis ain't never going to defend this. He ain't going back down to 130. So he's holding on to this, and he's going to vacate. It could be any day now. And Colbert and Martinez are going to likely be ordered forward. And PBC, Showtime spilled the beans on that during a broadcast. So when you look at the division, Colbert versus Oscar Valdez. Now remember, Colbert took some big shots from Nambiar. Valdez is moving up from 126, so we're not really sure how his power is, but then again, look what he did to Miguel Burchell. So how would you match Colbert against Oscar Valdez? I can't confidently say that Colbert can beat Oscar Valdez. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying I can't say it confidently. I can't. I haven't seen enough from Colbert yet. Now, can Colbert beat Rakhimov? Now, I've covered Rakhimov against Jojo Diaz, which ended in a draw, and Jojo didn't make weight, which we're going to talk about him later on in the video. I covered Ogawa versus Tevin Farmer. Colbert can beat both of these guys, Ogawa and Rakhimov. So, boom, okay, he can capture the IBF if he were to unify. If he was to beat Xavier Martinez. Can he beat Jamel Herring? I can't confidently say that. Shakur Stevenson, I can't confidently say that. So I'm not on the hype train yet. I'm not there. Is that a crime? I haven't seen enough. Oh, chat's messed up. Hold on, let me fix this. I haven't seen enough. So y'all can't be mad at me, man. I ain't seen enough. Let me fix this. Boom. There we go. I need to see more. So I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. Now let's see. But, at least we know he can unify. I mean, that's a nice solid resume he's built up between Jezreel Corrales. Here, let's look them up real quick. Remember that bullshit they did about 3 years ago with the WBA with Machado? It's a nice little resume right here. With Corrales and Niambayar on that joint. He getting there, just not there yet. And no 6 KOs sure do stick out, so you can be fast all you want. But what happens when you run into somebody that you can't keep off of you, So, let's shoot on through the next topic here. Card that kind of snuck up on us. That really, it's a good card, but he lost a lot of momentum. Gilberto Ramirez. He lost like a lot of momentum, bro. Like, he's taking on Sullivan Barrera this weekend in a fight that feels like it should have happened at least 3-4 years ago. 41-0 with 27 KOs. Here, let's go look at the card. Yeah, this fight seemed like it should have happened a long ass time ago. And I just don't have the confidence in Sullivan Barrera. He did break Joe Smith's jaw and beat him, though. So he do got that under his belt. (22-3) with 14 KOs. Win over Jesse Hart. Jesse Hart, by the way, is no longer with Top Rank. That loss to Dmitry Bivol. As I said, the Joe Smith win. Czar Jabransky beat him and was never high on him. The Andre Ward loss. Fucking Jeff Lacey's on that joint. Karu Marat. How old is he now? How old is Sullivan Barrera now? He's Cuban, so you never know. Whatever age they say he is, add like 5 years on that shit. 39? Damn, so which means he like 44. In El Cubano years. Yeah, I just don't have too much faith in him. I think it's going to be a good fight. If you don't know, Gilberto Ramirez, Zurdo is now with Golden Boy Promotions. Kind of a weird signing. He really wanted out of Top Rank. He was flirting with Eddie Hearn Matchroom for a while. He had this fight here on pay-per-view. I think I purchased this fight for like $25 and ended up not watching it on Fight.tv. No bullshit. I think I purchased this fight. And I think I didn't watch it. Some shit happened. I remember. Tommy Carpinci, Jesse Hart, and basically the Jesse Hart rematch was his last significant fight. And he cleanly beat Jesse Hart. The first fight was a good fight. It's just not nothing there. Zurdo's 30 years old now. He's got to do something. Did you guys hear about Canelo versus Bertabiev in the works? Because you know how that shit works. Canelo like, all right, Caleb Plant won't take my money. Then we're going to go give it to somebody else that we sure are going to probably take less. And fans won't care if we fight. Let's go look at the card. So first, before we look at the card, let's see where Zurdo is in the rankings. Because he's moved up now, so he should be highly ranked. Yes, he is. He's number 3 in the WBO. It's going to be interesting to see what Joe Smith's doing, because did you hear he was offered a fight with Danny Jacobs. And if Bertabiev is in talks to fight Canelo, that's not official yet. We don't know what's going on. 175, we got some nice fights that can be made, especially if Canelo goes back up there. Because if Canelo goes on and fights Dimitri Bivol and beats him, then, you know, I'll go on the record to say he can beat Bivol and he surely can beat Joe Smith. So this man can be undisputed in 2 weight divisions within 2 years. But Caleb Plant better stop fucking around and take that less money. Also, you know what I think is really a big issue too? Did you notice that like Eddie Hearn is like Canelo's promoter now? Like that's like a thing. He's like his promoter.
Like cat piss. Killing cats in the basement.
Like he's doing the negotiations for him.
Gunner Forever has just donated $2. It smells of cat urine somewhere. Is it you? I bet it is. Caleb Plant a big ponocha. Hashtag Team Canelo.
Okay. Thanks for the super chat. By the way, my website, fightview360.com, link down below in the description box. Our rankings are updated monthly in accordance with the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WB, IBF, WBO, and we even add the Ring magazine. It's looking like Eddie Hearn and Canelo are really together fight for fight. Y'all want to know what I heard? And I've heard it from multiple, like, significant, you know, sources of people, you know, in the know, is that they really got a good relationship, especially with the way that Eddie Hearn rolls out the red carpet for Canelo that Golden Boy never did, like with the entrances and the setups and all that shit. That shit goes a long way. Years ago, for NBA fans, I used to be really deep in the basketball. I'm talking about like the type of deep in the basketball where about 6-7 years ago, I used to cover NBA playoffs on YouTube. So years and years ago, Tim Duncan had a meeting with the Orlando Magic. He was really interested in like leaving the San Antonio Spurs at that time for whatever reason. Forgot what it was. But they ended up serving him some bad food. And that like fucked up everything. He ended up staying in San Antonio and retiring in San Antonio. The point is, having a good promoter and people rolling out the red carpet for you that sends like a good, you know, like vibes to somebody like, wow, they really looking out for us, you know? So that's what I've been hearing is that he really likes Eddie Hearn. And also Eddie Hearn, he's like, look, you Canelo, I bow down to you. Tell me what you're going to give me. That like that type of promoter, you know? Really looking at it, and especially Golden Boy, when Canelo started getting like big, Golden Boy wasn't doing right by him. You know, especially with like how they was fucking around with his belts. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was Tim Duncan's first like he was a free agent. So he was going to different teams. He met with the Orlando Magic. He was considering them, from my understanding. And they served him bad food. Like, you know how like they roll the red carpet, you trying to sign him. Y'all sit down with the owner and everything, and the food, you looking like, what the fuck is this? You know? And you're like, no way. Why would I sign with you? Y'all feed me this shit. You disrespectful. But anyway, I don't know how we got on Canelo. I didn't want to talk about him. So let's go back to the card, because I got to get up out of here. We got another stream to do later on. So, Jojo Diaz, Javier Fortuna, they are going to be fighting for the WBC interim title that was vacated by Ryan Garcia after he defeated Luke Campbell. By the way, Ryan Garcia could likely, maybe he could be in talks with Tank Davis. You know, they could be revisiting that. We don't know. But this is for that WBC interim title. Jojo Diaz, Javier Fortuna. Very good fight. If you don't know Jojo Diaz, in his last fight, that was his last fight, right? Where he lost to Rakhimov, not making weight, and he was crying blood tears. Yeah. So now he's moved up to 135. Remember, he missed weight outrageously. And in his next fight, he's getting a WBC interim shot. I don't know how they worked that out, but yeah, they did. And the winner of this is going to be the mandatory for Devin Haney. You got Tenkai Tsunami, cool ass name, versus Sinesa Estrada, super bad. Now that's super bad. She come to fight. That's going to be a very good fight. I'm telling you, that chick come to fight. Tenkai Tsunami, 28-12-1 with 16 KOs for the WBO World Flyweight. That's 108 pounds. Oh, lightweight, not lightweight, light flyweight. There you go, light fly. All right, there you go. And these other fights, I really don't give a shit about. I'm not even going to. Okay, you got Saloma Urbina. She's on the card. All right, I like her. She cool. She fighting for the WBA. The WBA. Oh, okay. So you can see a little unification right there. No, that's light fly and fly. All right, so you got 2 female title fights in the card. A WBC interim fight with Jojo Diaz and Javier Fortuna. And then you got Gilberto Ramirez versus Sullivan Barrera. This is going to be on the Zone this weekend. I believe this is a Friday night card. Yeah, July the 9th. So I'm going to rate this card 3 fights that I'm interested in. I'm going to rate this card as 6.5. 6.5. Not exactly the card I would say you guys need to stay in the house and watch this card. You know, the only fight that really has some real significance on the landscape is the Jojo Diaz Fortuna fight, because it's for the WBC interim, and the winner of that has to fight Devin Haney. The Gilberto Ramirez Sullivan Barrera is nothing on the line. It's just like, all right, nice little fight to watch. The 2 women's fights, they do have my attention. I do admit, but you know, I love female combat sports. So for me, those fights have my attention. I can't say they do for anybody else. Now, something tells me I'm supposed to know who this dude is, and I've probably seen him fight before, but my memory is shit, and I don't know. Hector Tanahata. Have I seen this guy fight before? I know I probably did, and I'm just probably forgot. Yup, he was on the Munguia versus Sullivan. I covered this card. And with Cruz Dezern versus Jimenez. No, I didn't cover this card live. This is when her wig came off and Alejandro Jimenez was like, you know, bro, I'm happy, thank you for the title. And you juiced to the gills. I was in Atlantic City when Jesse Hart, just so happens, we were talking about him earlier, was getting a boot put in his ass by Joe Smith. So I didn't see this guy's last fight. Get these people out of here. Get off my screen. You don't deserve the time. So I mean, it's something to watch. It's something to watch. You know, especially if you don't got, nothing else to do. Manny Pacquiao was in Los Angeles now. He has touched down. So training camp for him and Errol Spence has begun. Manny Pacquiao's manager, I'm going to say he's his manager. That Sean Gibbons guy, man, he a little shady. He a little shady, man. He got some shady shit with him. And a lot of people are not going to forget when he was coming out. What interest was that? Where he was coming out and he had like the nose clams, like the powdered sugar, like on his nostrils. Anybody remember that fight? And he was feeling it. But whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So Pacquiao versus Errol Spence, I got to start doing that build-up soon, and that's going to be a pain in my ass because how the Filipino Manny Pacquiao fans, they come out and they just start saying anything, not looking at logic. So my logic is simple. I feel that Manny Pacquiao, at his age, he'll be 43 at the end of the year, December. These layoffs, Father Time catches up with you. Errol Spence is young. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao was Manny Pacquiao. Yes, he has a chance. Look, a lot of us didn't think he was going to beat Keith Thurman. But still, he can get fucked up, man. And you got to give him credit, though. I'm not going to give him no shit if he loses or how he loses. You know, but that's a difficult fight. And I'm not going to go on the record to say, I can't go on the record to say that Manny Pacquiao, you know, going to beat Errol Spence. I can't say that. I don't feel comfortable. I feel nasty. Like, even the man's been on that long, you know. And then the southpaw advantage is going to be taken away. I think Manny's still out there just signing anything. And Manny is a politician, and he's still out there just doing whatever the fuck he's doing. You know, but that manager, man, he got some shit with him, man. I hope nothing don't come out in the next 20-something years about, like, how Manny Pacquiao manager was robbing the fighters. And then it falls on Manny Pacquiao. Because they be all living with him and shit, and it's like, bro, like, where that money going? But whatever, that's not my, let me leave that shit alone. I won't get in no trouble, man. I won't get in no trouble. And there's a whole stream I can dedicate to what the hell is up with PBC fighters. Like, top level PBC fighters, do you know when they take a loss, they have these long ass layoffs? Did you notice that? And they're getting longer. Sean Porter takes a loss, long ass layoff. Danny Garcia takes a loss, long ass layoff, and he's had a couple of them. Adrian Broner, the Pacquiao, long ass layoff. Keith Thurman, long ass layoff. Deontay Wilder, okay, all right. There was the arbitration, whatever, long ass layoff. Leo Santa Cruz, long ass layoff. You know, and then you'll have the fighters that they just, that shit is it's like blatant now and habitual. It's like where they, you know, they get their paydays and just disappear. And these fighters are getting older now. These fighters are getting in their 30s. Do you believe that Adrian Broner's like, what, 32 years old or some shit now? These guys ain't kids no more. Tank is 26. I believe when I checked last week, yeah. I believe he's 26. Yes, Manny is getting sued by, I forgot the name of that managerial group that he signed with. From my understanding, they worked with Conor McGregor too, and they were supposed to be putting together the Conor McGregor fight. And yes, I'm covering UFC this weekend. Yeah, them layoffs, man, and these guys are getting older. Bud, like 34. Bud got some shit going on with him, man. Because he can't get a fight to save his life. How old? Bud is, I think Bud is 33. If not, he just turned 34, maybe. Let me check real quick. Bud up there. Yo, these fighters are getting up there, bro. Bud is 33. He turns 34 September the 28th. Yeah, this shit is getting old now, man. Like, these motherfuckers just don't want to fight like each other. And they all, you can't, I mean, at the age that they are, they're all waiting for the big paydays. Luis Ortiz like 54, some shit like that. I was at Luis Ortiz's so-called 38th birthday party. I was like, motherfucker, yeah, right. I was looking him up and down. I was like, you ain't no motherfucking 38. You motherfucker, you. Ain't no motherfucking 38. And I can see, let me tell you, you know how you can tell, like, the stubble? That's why he keep like no facial hair or nothing. Because the gray stubble started to show. He shaved that more. Like, motherfucker, he tried to keep the baby face. He tried to wear like the sideways hat with the baggy jeans and the white Air Force Ones with the one little Bluetooth. Not the AirPods. He be having the little Bluetooth joint. Remember the Wilder press conference he showed up to? What was the Wilder's second press conference, I believe? Or was it when
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
My back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Julio Ochoa has just donated $2. I'll never forget how he ate poor Evander's ear. Shame. PBC about to end. Heyman filed bankruptcy 800 meters loan.
The hell you get that from? Anyway, but thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I remember the Bernard Hopkins fights. You know, even though he was a little older, they used to be like not even 15 years ago. Being in your early 30s in boxing, you were considered like old as shit. Like, yo, he's on his last legs. Like that type shit. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not trying to sound like a bigot. You know, T-Street don't like no bigots. So let me know if I'm being a little insensitive. But let me tell you something. When they get on that boat, that Cuban boat, or however the hell they get over here, once they get over here to the state, they can be whatever they want to be. Like a motherfucker like Rigo come over here. He really 32 when he first came over here, but he tell him, oh shit, I'm 26 now. Call me Guillermo Rigondeaux. We don't know what the motherfucker's real history was over in Cuba. Luis Ortiz come over. He 44, but he tell them, no, I'm 36.
I swear on God and them and my city, Julio Ochoa has just donated $2 through Super Chat. Heyman is Illuminati. He will pay pennies back.
I mean, I'm glad, you're giving me the super chat. I don't know what's up with you tonight, man, but thank you. Yeah, they can be anything when they come over here. Come on, look how long Aries Lindy Lara been together. Y'all still think he 32? Aries Lindy Lara's been around forever. He's on like fucking Knockout Kings on PlayStation 2. Some shit like that. You can't tell me fucking Aries Lindy Lara's not at least 45 now, bro. Come on. That shit still say he like 34 or some shit. Fuck out of here. HBO ain't been around forever. He ain't been on HBO forever. Remember how long the Canelo fight was ago? When was the Canelo fight? Like 6 years ago or some shit? Like, I've been on to them Cubans. I was like, that motherfucker, you. They don't fool me. So the rule of thumb, at least to me in my world, is whenever I look at a Cuban fighter, I say, you know what? I'm going to add 4 years to that shit. I'm going to add 4 years. Go look at Frank Sanchez. Tell me that motherfucker 29 to you. No, let me stay on topic. Let's pull up Frank Sanchez, bro. Come on. Let's pull up fucking Frank Sanchez. This is Frank Sanchez 28, and this is an old picture. Yeah, he's 28. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's 28 to me. 20. That's the 28 to me, mate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I believe you. Yes, sir. Oh, let me pull up this clip for you guys. 28 my asshole. Rigo has stepped in now for Donaire. So it's looked like they're going to go back to Donaire versus Casemiro on August the 14th. Either way, I'm cool with either fight. Donaire, Casemiro, or Rigo versus Casemiro. No, Frank Sanchez 28. When I first started covering him, I think like I was watching on like PBC on Fox or something. And it was like, yeah, bro. Like, like Frank Sanchez, El Cubano, he's 26 years old. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was looking at him like, 26? Ah!
Keep punching. Entertainment is into dark ass freak shit like this. Donating $49.99. Surely a degenerate. Disgusting.
You're not a degenerate, bro. You're not a degenerate. Don't listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. Thanks, bro, for the super chat. Don't choke. Choke to death. All right. All right, back on topic. I'm pulling up the last topic of the stream. Hold up, I gotta pull up the clip from Inside Fury versus Wilder 3. Came on PBC on Fox. I gotta open up in, let's see. Yeah, bro, motherfucking 28 years old, my ass. Oh, wrong video. Yeah, I'm pulling up some. People been wondering where you can watch the episode of Inside Fury versus Wilder 3, which premiered this last Saturday, July the 3rd? July the 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. The next one's going to be on July the 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern on Free TV Fox. Set your DVRs now, damn it, because I've been seeing a lot of comments on my recap video. Where do I watch it? Where do I watch it? Free TV Fox. Saturday, episode 2. We're going to... Oh, you guys are generous tonight.
Julio Ochoa has just donated $5. It smells of cat urine somewhere. Is it you? I bet it is. Heyman will pay back 10 million of the 850 mil he borrowed after he declares bankruptcy on those poor people's money. Then Heyman will retire with Trans GF.
Bro, you said 800 million. Now it's 850. What is going on today? You guys are out of control. I mean, thank you for the super chat. And I do believe in free speech. But my God, you guys are out of control. Like, now let me tell you something. I used to be out of control years back. But you guys, like, Jesus. Hold on, we're pulling this clip and trying to make sure my computer doesn't freeze. So what we're going to do is, a lot of people didn't get to see the episode. So I'm going to hook you up. We're going to do a live recap of Inside Fury versus Wilder 3. And I have my time stamps here. And basically, we're going to go through the key portions of the episode. And we're going to talk about them. Let me talk about them. So here, let's go right here first. Oh, this was ugly though. All right. So take your time out. Please subscribe. We're gonna go back down memory lane, and we're gonna talk about some Fury versus Wilder 3.
So did it work?
I thought that we had a lot more conversation. We couldn't be off in our own world.
Share what you love on a beach getaway to Virginia.
Wilder's in bad shape. This fight is over. And the new heavyweight champion of the world.
My side, you in the towel, and you know I'm ready to go out on my shield.
Tyson Fury is the truth. He did what he said he was going to do.
I will be back. And we will rise like a phoenix from the ashes and regain the title.
All we had heard from Tyson Fury was he was looking at Anthony Joshua.
August 14th, 2021, summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua.
But in the 11th hour, an arbitrator ruled that the third fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder must happen.
They had a contract. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Signed on the books, legally binding contract.
Listen, it is what it is. The judge has made his decision, and we can't go against what the judge has said.
I didn't come here to lollygag around. Or I'm strictly business.
Your new trainer, Malik Scott.
Those that don't know, Malik is my true brother. You know, that's my guy.
Camp started today, guys. I got 8 weeks until I smashed Deontay Wilder's face right in for him.
But we ain't going nowhere, for the war has just begun.
And now we get ready for July 24th, where the two greatest heavyweights of this era will battle for one of the most prestigious titles in all of sport. After a draw in the first fight and a Tyson Fury victory in the second, this is boxing's next epic trilogy to decide once and for all who is the baddest man on the planet.
So yeah, this was episode 1. From my understanding, we haven't got a press release, but I cover all of these, the PBC on for shoulder content, and basically, there are going to be 3 episodes before the fight. And there's also going to be a countdown episode. So this is episode 1. It premiered this last Saturday, July the 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it on ESPN Plus. I'm not sure when it premieres, and I can't show you now. Let me see if I can do it on my phone. Because for some reason, when I pull up ESPN Plus until I upgrade my computer, for some reason, it crashes my system. So I'm not trying to crash my stream. But basically, I'm going to be covering all of the episodes, and I already did a recap of one, what was it, Saturday or so. So, the episode, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Normally, the first episodes of these things, these shoulder content is usually what happened in the, how did we get here, what happened you know, in the fighters' last fight. In this case, it was both of the fighters. You know, last fight they fought each other. Who's the trainers? You know, a little bit about the personal life. So the first episode is pretty much the prologue introduction. So I do got some timestamps here, and we want to talk about Deontay Wilder's chances in the fight, because to be honest with you, I'm not really confident that Tyson Fury wins, but I don't see how Deontay Wilder wins if he just can't get the lucky right hand.
Down in the third round, that's an indicator. This is his night. Now,
1-2 punches.
Man, and act like the bigger man.
First knockdown was one of those classic crunk 1-2 punches. Straight to the point, bang, he was down.
when he put him down in the third round, that's an indicator. This is his night. Now he's the better boxer, and he's the stronger guy.
He said he would knock him out. He's going for it here in the third round. Wilder is down again. That is no knockdown. He's still shaky. Kenny Bayless says no knockdown. Explosive round for the Gypsy King.
Once you see blood coming from the ear, you know that there's a major issue.
Let's stop right there. This was also an important part of the episode. I mean, you clearly see right there he's bleeding out of his ear. But I'm going to let them talk about it.
But Wilder's tough. Wilder's game.
Hey. I'm not doing this for my health. Please take your time out, like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Tszyu controversy with Fight View 360. But seriously, like the video. Don't play around.
Wilder's the kind of guy that doesn't want to go away.
There's no intention of going away. But you could start to see pieces of him breaking down at that point.
Tyson Fury. This is exactly the fight he said he would fight. Coming in big, coming in strong. And look at this on the attack.
He's getting bounced around. He's not outboxing Tyson Fury. He can't outmuscle him, and he's getting beaten down.
Knockdown is scored. A body shot to Wilder. Second time he's been down. To Wilder.
Boxing Tyson Fury. He can't outmuscle him, and he's getting beaten down.
That was a significant damaging blow to Wilder. The boulder's now going down the hill, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. This fight is heading in a certain direction, and it's not going to go any other way.
Right hand rings in. Wilder's hurt again, looking to wrap up. A big right hand rings in again.
Getting his face smashed in, his eardrum burst. Deontay Wilder got his heart handed to him on a plate.
My summation of the second fight was planned, well executed.
And Fury looks like if he lands a good punch, Deontay will go down.
What was he just doing with his tongue right there? He said in the lead-up, I want to taste blood. I believe that's what he was just doing there.
I saw the electricity come out of Deontay Wilder, and I was watching it thinking, how much more do we need to see?
Wilder just coasting back into that neutral corner as Wilder's in bad shape. The fight is over. There is only one. Crown the king, the lone undefeated.
Before I let this last little bit play, as I said, it's a half-hour episode, so I can't show you everything. So I didn't reach my little fair use copyright quota right there, or limit. But what I want to say is, yo, he beat his ass, bro. Like, and you watching it in slow motion is different. By the way, shout out to Keep Punching Boxing. Let me see. Keep Punching Entertainment for the $50 super chat. I mean, get to him early. I gotta start shouting those out. And Julio Ochoa, even though he's a degenerate, he shouts out gangs in like the chat still. I guess he's a good guy.
undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder's reaction saying, why did you do that to Mark Breland?
I was amazed when part of Wilder's own camp and Wilder.
Y'all see Finkel? Bro, no, honestly though. Honestly. The fight, yo, he was getting his ass beat, bro. He wasn't going to come back. And to see them acting like that, they wanted this man killed. Let's go back.
To Mark Breland.
I was amazed when.
Look at Finkel. Look how he just going flagging. Now, mind you, he's a boxer. This shit, man.
Why did you do that to Mark Breland?
I was amazed when part of Wilder's own camp and Wilder were saying that they disagreed with Mark Breland throwing the towel in. I thought Mark Breland saved him.
I just wish that my corner would have let me win out on my shield. I'm a warrior. But he did what he did, and you just you take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mark Breland's decision to end the fight ultimately cost him his job as Wilder's co-trainer. The loss, however, did not take away the Bronze Bomber's resolve heading into this third championship fight.
He showed the best of everything that he had and couldn't even get me out.
Thank you for telling me I was muted. I was saying that I'm not fucking gotta fix this. I was saying that I'm not with all the conspiracy theories because somebody posted, who was it, 8 something, had posted that, he wasn't right coming into the fight. I'm not trying to hear another conspiracy theory shit. I can't. Wilder's had ample opportunity. He's had his own platform, PBC on Fox. That's his platform. They put a lot of money into it, and he's not saying anything about it. He's had ample interviews with God knows how many LDBCers, and let's go ahead and cut the bullshit. Why is he going to those channels? Because those are the channels that are not going to question him. They're not going to challenge him. So he knows that's a safe place for him. You see what I'm saying? So he's had plenty enough time to, give us something. Between Finkel, Al Heyman, PBC executive, no, man, ain't nobody trying to hear it. And then, by the way, I do have the Chris Colbert thing. Here, you know what? Let me show y'all something real quick. I got something for you. Give me a minute. I got something for you. It's bro, I can't keep hearing this shit. He ain't giving us no type of proof of nothing, nothing. And then he wonder why people calling him a sucker? Let's listen in.
Fury again. I told you the first 2 times. Fury's gonna beat on him. You can't fuck with Fury.
But even now, after the trainer switch, he got rid of Breland.
What do you mean? What you gonna learn from a nigga that you knocked out?
All trainers ain't world champions.
What are you gonna learn from somebody? How's somebody gonna teach you something that he can't even do either?
Because
you heard what Tyson Fury said.
All trainers.
He said I busted. He said I broke your eye bone and broke your eye. Eardrum and your eardrum. He said this shit is a chain reaction. He said how you gonna teach me to do something that you can't even do?
But some trainers are better trainers than fighters.
That is not happening.
Have you seen the clips?
What clips of him pads? The pads don't hit back.
I'm saying.
Now, I'm saying too.
He looking good though.
I'm saying too. The pad's not hitting back.
I mean, nobody.
Everybody looks pad. Everybody look pad. Everybody look good on pad.
I could look like I want to.
Floyd Mayweather. Come on, run it. Come here, Tone. Right here. No, you got to run. Oh man. That's pads and bag work and shit. Yeah, like Tyson Fury look good too, but Tyson Fury is special, bro. I tell you, I don't think nobody's fucking with him.
He said he want to come in 300 pounds. Now remember last time.
I don't know what he talking about that pound, 300 pounds, but he said whatever he say, he do it. So you gotta listen to him. He said he told y'all he was gonna stop Wilder. He went there and beat that nigga ass. And then everybody want to make excuses about the first fight. I think he won too. The 2 knockdowns don't win you a 12-round fight.
Come on, you what? Oh, you trying
2
to
knockdowns? How 2
I
knockdowns?
ain't saying they do, but you trying to say he ain't win another round outside of the 9 and the 12?
Probably one round. That's 5 rounds.
Nah.
Fury was on his ass.
Nah, man. That first 4 rounds,
so
you gotta go
fight?
watch the first 4. No, draws are good.
I won that fight. No, a draw is either a draw or him win. Anything Wilder, any of those fights is lie. They just doing some bullshit American heavyweight type shit. That's what if they would have gave Wilder any of those fights.
That first fight.
And all the excuses for the second fight he was making, terrible.
So you don't believe the gloves? Huh? You don't believe the gloves?
No.
You seen what happened with Margarito?
Come on now. David caught him. That means you gotta fire the white niggas too.
Why he got that?
Why he got that? Margarito? Why he still got that white guy in his camp? Then? The white guy was the one that was in his Tyson.
Them MX gloves are thin.
Look, you could do that. I do that with the MX gloves. I do that with the MX gloves all the time. Open up my whole hand in them. You can't. That means he gotta go fire the white guy then. Why you keep the white guy and fire the black guy? You blame it on the black guy. And you be talking all that racism shit, and you gonna go fight a black guy. And the white guy was the one in the corner, and the white guy was the one in his in Tyson Fury locker room, watching put on the gloves and wrapped his hand. So what? All that makes then he spiked his water. Come on now, where you gonna put it in? What can you put in water that's gonna make you Henny? What do you put Henny? It would have been brown. What do you put tequila?
Bruh.
What did he put in the water?
Roofie. Could have put some roofie in that shit. That shit be clear, man.
Yo, bro.
I don't know. I'm fucking around.
Niggas is, you think why would Mike Breland want to fuck up his paycheck? If you know he could go keep getting big paychecks with him, why would he want to fuck up his paychecks with him? Come on now. That don't even sound accurate. You gotta be stupid to do something. You want to just sabotage another black man. And put something. What